So, you ready, Mum?
Yes, I'm ready,
Yeah?
Jess.
All right. So, how are you feeling?
Bit nervous
Yeah? Why are you nervous?
because I'm not sure what you're going to ask me and how silly I'm going to look.
You're not going to look silly at all. That's why it's called No Silly Questions. The topic we're looking at today is what is No Silly Questions. So, why don't you start by telling me what you know about No Silly Questions?
Well, I'm thinking no silly question means I can ask you any question,
Mm-hmm.
any technical question,
Yep.
and you won't think it's silly and you will be able to give me some advice.
Yep. And why do you think we're doing this?
Um, because you believe, and also I believe, there is a difference in understanding of your age group and my
Mm-hmm.
age group of
Yep.
technology.
Yep.
And I think this way you're going to help me to understand more about technology. And if I can be more confident in what I know, I'm going to be more confident in helping customers as need be at work.
Yeah. That's pretty good. So, the way that I would describe what we're doing is we're creating a YouTube channel called No Silly Questions so that we can help everybody understand different topics. So, each episode will look at a different theme or a different topic, and then you will ask me questions about it, and I'll give you the answers. And then
Okay.
at the end of the episode, you need to explain it back to me.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so should we get started?
Okay.
So, what is your first question about No Silly Questions?
Well, I don't know whether I actually had a question as such.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the first session was talking about the purpose of having these sessions.
Yeah.
Um, and my thoughts on that were like, as you know, I wasn't really keen on doing this
Mm-hmm.
because some of my understanding is not so great. And I'm probably feeling a little bit nervous about an unknown space I'm entering into,
Yeah. So,
technology wise.
yeah. So that's partly why I wanted to do this with you. So,
Yeah,
this isn't me as your daughter. This is me as an innovation strategist having these
yeah,
conversations with
yeah,
you.
yeah,
So, I won't make fun of you, I promise. And we probably will laugh about some of the things we talk about.
yeah,
But we want this to be a safe space so that everyone can understand some complex topics.
yeah. So probably I didn't really write any questions as such. I thought
Mm-hmm.
today was just a discussion of
Yeah.
what No Silly Question is all about, why we're
Mm-hmm.
doing this.
Yep.
And what I sort of felt nervous about is it's an unknown space to me,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing what I'm getting in for. And as I said, I feel I have a short attention span.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Um, and I think that's in relation to information overload.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, I was a bit concerned about the complexity of what we're actually doing.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I wanted to do this. And
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to do this with you. Because I don't think I've told you this yet, but what I want to be able to do at work is help people identify opportunities for the future of work. And so part of that, I need to be able to explain these really complex things so that anyone can understand them.
It doesn't matter whether it's someone who's 8 or 9 or 10 or
Mm-hmm.
someone 20 in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Yes, you may have to explain it in a different way depending on the age, but it's teaching different age groups, different things, but teaching on the level of the person you're talking to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So if I can explain it to you, you can then explain it to other people as well. So maybe
yeah.
we can have other episodes where you explain it to someone. So
All
you can
right.
either
Yeah,
explain it to a child, or you can explain it to Nanny, or you can explain it to someone else.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so one thing which I think I have said this to you, with working where I do in a public space, if someone comes and asks me a question, if it's something I can confidently do myself, I will have no problems showing you as a customer how to do it.
Yep.
For example, we've probably 18 months ago, we downloaded an app you can put onto your phone. Rather than check out your library books with a library card, you can check it out through the app. And even more clever than that is you can actually check out books or magazines, nothing that's locked like DVDs or CDs. You can actually check it out with your smartphone.
Yep.
So you don't even have to go to the checkout machine. And it gives me no greater pleasure than showing, especially my generation or older, or even younger people, can I show you how to check it out with your phone? Or do you know you can check it out with your phone without going to the checkout machine? They're going, oh, no, can I? So you walk them through it and show them. And even younger people are so blown away with, wow, I didn't know I could do this with my phone. So things like that I know about and that I use myself, I'm quite confident in teaching other people because I know what I'm talking about. But if it's not something I know, I admit to you that, look, I don't know how to do that. Let's Google it together. We'll look at this together and see if we can work out how to do it.
Yep.
So I am confident enough, if I don't know how to do it, to tell you and to find a way together, and we both learn together.
Exactly. So that's what we're doing with this channel as well. So we want to make these really difficult things really easy and accessible for anybody.
Yeah.
So if people don't understand, like we've already spoken about ChatGPT as a potential topic, or TikTok, we can explain it in a way that they can then understand it as well.
Yeah.
So what do you see your role in this channel as? What's your role?
Well, I think for me, I'm hoping that I will be able to learn things that I don't have confidence to do. So showing other people that, hey, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can do it.
Yeah. And in terms of, so we both have things that we need to do to make this show work. What do you need to do? What's your homework, essentially, or your job with this channel?
Research questions that I'd like answers on.
Yeah. And how are you doing that research? There was one thing you're not allowed to do. What's that one thing you can't do?
I'm not allowed to Google answers to the questions I have.
Yeah. So you will find out the questions that people have. And then you will give me the questions, and then I'll be able to find the answers for you. Yeah. So that's my role. So my role is to answer any of the questions that you have. And there's no silly questions.
Okay, so and that's why it's called this.
Exactly. That's why it's no silly question.
What is no silly question?
Yeah, exactly. And in this space in particular, that's really important because a lot of this stuff we don't understand yet. So I know a lot about the future and I know a lot about technology, but there's a lot of things that I don't even understand yet. So together we'll be able to understand them and then help other people understand them as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah, no, I was just thinking it's being over 60, I think a lot of us have that attitude. If it's not something I'm going to use, I'm not going to bother to learn it.
But you will use it. So think back, remember when you first used a computer?
Yes.
How did you feel about that?
Well, a bit nervous. I sort of really only used it for emails, Facebook and Instagram when I went on Instagram.
So you didn't use Facebook and Instagram when you first got a computer?
Probably not when I first got a computer, no. So basically it was just to search the internet and read emails.
So how often do you use the internet?
Internet or my laptop?
The internet.
Every day.
Yeah? See, that's why there's no silly questions. So how many hours do you think you use the internet a day?
Oh, well, looking at emails, Facebook, and Instagram, probably far too many. Far,
Yeah.
far too many. It's a time waster.
So think of how much you use the internet. In a few years, you'll be using things like AI the same amount. So artificial
That,
intelligence.
that scares me.
And the blockchain is another one.
Mm.
And cryptocurrency. So these are things that are coming within 10 years that you will need to understand. But at the moment, none of us understand these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because they're newer inventions
Mm-hmm.
to our
Exactly.
laptops, Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok.
Mm-hmm. So the feeling that you had the first time you used Facebook or Instagram, the internet, computers, that's what you're going to feel when we start using these things all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But,
are they things that I will use at
mm-hmm.
my age?
Yep, everybody.
See, I'm not feeling confident I would use them.
So that's why we're going to have these conversations so that
Yeah.
you do feel confident.
Yeah.
And by the time they happen, you are prepared and you understand them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make you what's called an early adopter. Have you heard that term before?
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah.
learning these things before they really come out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep, by the time everyone else is using them, you'll be like, oh, I learned about that 3 years ago. I'm already all over
Yeah.
it. I can
Yes.
show you how to do it,
I
kind
can
of thing.
show you what to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 All right. Any other questions?
No,
No?
but I'm just looking forward to what you can teach me
Mm-hmm.
and give me the confidence in doing technology wise.
Yeah.
As you say, learning things that aren't possibly out yet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's why there's no silly questions because no one understands this stuff yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. All right. I have one last question for you.
Yes.
What is no silly questions?
Well, there's no silly questions.
Yeah. But what is
There's no
what is no silly questions?
It means that I can ask you confidently any
Yeah.
question and you're not going to tell me that it's silly.
Yeah. So
There's
if
no such
you're
thing as a silly question.
correct, but let's say that you are telling your friend about no silly questions, how are
Yes.
you explaining it to them? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So one more question. If you
But that
had to,
was the last question you said.
I know, but you didn't actually answer the question.
Well, I did. You
So,
asked what I'd tell my friends.
so if you had to describe no silly questions in one sentence, how do you describe it?
I think what no silly questions is about us being able to talk about anything I want to know
Yeah.
about, and it's not going to be considered as being silly.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's pretty good.
hopefully, no, that was going to be a second sentence, but that was yeah.
Hey, it's editing, Jess. We forgot to record an outro. I was trying to figure out the best way to deal with it, and I thought I'd just acknowledge it. This is the first time either of us have ever done this. But there will be one next week. So stay tuned for our next episode on artificial intelligence. See you then.